Lost people. It's Dave with Lost Farms Homestead. Sorry about the wind. It's pretty windy up here today. Last night, getting whipped over here. Sorry, I'm gonna get over here and sit down so I can try and cover this a little bit. Sorry. Bit chilly this morning. It's not too bad. If it wasn't windy, it wouldn't be that cold. Sorry for the slurping. Wow, holy wind. Yeah, it's pretty windy this morning, so it's a little bit later than normal. I got Hope and True up here with me today, and they wanted to sleep in a little bit, so I got up and I got the sunset shot and the temperature in the truck and got some things set up around here. I got breakfast going and coffee and everything, so we're set up out here. They're over, they walked over to the build site to check on it. Oh, hold on, sorry, dripping. Yeah, sorry, that was kind of gross. Reality. Anyways, so, yeah. Oh, man. This world we live in, huh? Things just keep going in that direction. I don't know, I mean, these are the things that I've been talking about. And I mean, I'm not trying to, prophesy or anything like that. I'm not saying, oh, the world, this, that, whatever. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying, is we get up, we praise Yah that we're on this side of the dirt. When we get up, give him our thanks and ask for his blessings and go on with our day. Try to do the best that we can to walk in his ways and do his thing. And, I was inspired to do this build. I won't say that it was, that it was inspired by God. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this is something that my wife and I were inspired to do, and we ask for his blessings every day that we come out here to do this. We ask him to, bless our homestead and hope that, we're doing his thing. And as we progress, we get farther and farther along, and I have to say we are blessed in many ways. We are blessed. It's people, a lot of people in my life question what I'm doing and my beliefs, and because I wasn't always Christian, and anybody who knows me will know that I wasn't always Christian, and that is a fact. And I've recently become Christian. I won't say recently, like, I mean, like in the last 5 years, I've become Christian, and I've been, reading the scriptures and doing my best to walk in His ways and do the best that I can. And I've asked for direction and wisdom and discernment and in the things that I do, and I've tried to do the best that I can in the things that I'm doing, and we are blessed, and a lot of people don't understand it or see it, but I mean, it's the little things. It's like, I need materials, and I'm having a hard time finding materials, and then materials just fall in my lap. I mean, and it's not exactly what I need exactly when I need it, but it's stuff that I'm gonna need. I mean, like, just as a for instance, a guy at my wife's work came in the other day and was like, and they were talking about doing the plumbing and the PEX and whatever else, and the guy's like, PEX? You need PEX? Well, I've got 300 feet of PEX sitting outside because I bought it to do this project, and I only needed this much, and I've got this much left. So, wow, we got 300 feet of free PEX in both colors, and I mean, and we don't even got to pay for it, and I doubt that we'll need all of that for what we're doing. And I mean, that and a bunch of the connections and all of the other stuff that goes with it. I mean, that's a blessing to me. I see y'all's fingerprints all over that. And I mean, and people don't see it that way. Coincidence, whatever. You just know people. Whatever. Call it what you want. To me, that's a blessing from Yah. So we continue to do what we can, the best that we can, and anybody who's watching our channel will notice that we're making a bit of slow progress right now. We were making much better progress in the beginning, and it was going a lot faster, and it has slowed down a lot, and a lot of that's because we're just picking up after the winter. We had slowed down during the winter because it was cold. And a lot of it is materials. We're trying to get materials, and I've recently just had another blessing that's about to come through. So I had a side job that I'm doing that's going to be a nice little chunk of money that we're going to put towards materials so that we can do some more stuff out here. And every time that I get a side job, that to me is another blessing from Yah, and people probably don't see that. But I mean, the fact that I met the person who I get the side jobs through, that was a major blessing. And Jay, if you're watching, amazing, good guy. It was a really good thing for me to have met you, and the work that we're doing together is amazing. So let's keep doing that. And that to me was a blessing from Yah in many different ways. So, I mean, yeah, so I got side work coming, so we got another chunk of materials here in the next few weeks, and then we have another thing that's going on where we're going to have a pretty substantial chunk of money that we're going to be able to put onto this. And one of the things that's a major deal is when that happens, I'm going to be able to pay off almost all of our debt. The only debt that we're going to have once that happens is going to be the mortgage on the house in town, which we intend to sell when we're ready to move out here. And when that happens, we'll be 100% debt free. This is what I was talking about, being independent of the system. So that's going to be a major deal for us, and being able to get out from under all of that debt. That also puts a lot more money in our pocket on a regular basis so that we can put it into the build. And I mean, if it's said that you'll know them by their fruit, and I don't know if I'm doing Yah's thing out here, but what I do know is that I felt inspired to do it, and that I'm receiving blessings along the way. And anybody who's watching, you can see the fruit, and you'll be seeing what we're doing. And I mean, I feel like we're blessed. So anyways, that was on my mind, so I thought I'd just say it. So, praise Yah. All right, stick around. We're gonna get some building going on. Yeah, girls are gonna be back shortly, and then we're gonna eat some breakfast, and we're gonna get over there and start doing some stuff. So stick around. Thanks. Alright, so we're out here at the container, and our chicken coop used to be right here up against these totes right here, IBC totes, and they got blown all the way over here. So this is what sustained 30-mile-an-hour wind with 65-mile-an-hour gusts will do to a chicken coop. So it's a good thing we didn't have any chickens in there. That would have been bad. The top's all the way over here. This thing got a little bit trashed. That's no good. I'm gonna have to fix that. So yeah, that sucks a bit, but we'll get it put back together and situated. So I need to get these tires put in order again. They've been knocked over by cows and blown all over the place. So
the cows like to play.
Yeah, the cows like to play. So, but yeah, so what we're gonna do today, we are gonna come over here and line out a space in this area here where we're planning to put a like a swimming pond type of a thing, and that's gonna be like kind of way future. We want to get everything established before we do that, but we are gonna, yeah, we are gonna line out where it's gonna be, because that's where we're gonna dig out the soil that we're gonna use for the hyper adobe wall. And we're going to be building a hyper adobe windbreak wall. Sorry about the wind. Windbreak wall across the back over here. And so that's what we're going to be doing today, is we're going to line out where we're going to put the wall and start trenching it. And we're going to try and get some of the hyper adobe tubing in the next week or two. And then we're going to come out here and start doing the hyper adobe walls in between other work that we're doing out here. So I can't get the material for the roof of the earth bag house is quite a bit more expensive than the material to do the hyper adobe. So we're gonna get that in the meantime and start working on that while we're getting the rest of it together so that we can do the other. And then we're just gonna do them back and forth in between while we can. So that's one of the things about the channel and the way that we're doing things, is we're doing what we can with what we have and the time that we have. And that's kind of the way it has to go right now. So anyways, I'm going to set up over here. I'm going to put this chicken coop back up. Whoa, hey. All right, that's a little windy. I'm going to put this chicken coop back up over here and get it situated, and then I'll set up over here and we'll start lining that out. So stick around. Thanks. right, so we have lined out all of the wall area that we're going to do and all the fencing around here, and we got a good count of the material that we're going to need based on a few different things. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take here we're going to empty this into 5-gallon buckets and put it on the trees. See, we got this is our orchard, and it's a little trashed. We put tarps up here to try and stop the wind from blowing down the trees, and you can see that, I mean, this is what I mean when I said sustained 30 mile an hour with 65 mile an hour gusts. I was not joking. This is the wind out here. So the trees get hit pretty hard, but this guy's doing real good. This is our almond right here, and it's doing real good. I'm gonna get some water on it. So that's the almond. And we had, if you look back in the videos, if you go back, way back, you'll see that we built a trellis for blackberries. Sorry about the wind. The wind's really bad out here right now. Yeah, that's not a 65 mile an hour gust. This is probably maybe 15 right now. It called today for, what did it call, 11 miles? 11, and what were the gusts? Okay, well, we're having gusts right now, so it was, yeah, so it was supposed to be 11 mile an hour sustained, and then they didn't say anything about gusts, but we're having it right now. So anyways, if you watch back at some of our earlier videos, you'll see where we did the trellis back here, and we had some berries. We planted blackberries, and they have not made it. They all dried out and got wind blown and died, every one of them. So, but we have some new sprouts growing, shoots growing at the house that we've got at the house in town. And whenever they get big enough and we get a better wind block out here, we're going to put them back in the ground in the same spot. So aside from those, we have out here, this is a plum right here. So that is a plum, and I've got a cage around it because, you know, we get animals out here and trying to keep it from getting eaten. So, but that's the plum that we have, and it used to be much bigger, but it got eaten, and that's why we trimmed it. You can see where we trimmed it down. We weren't sure if it was going to come back, but it did come back, so we're happy about that, trying to keep it protected. So there's that. And then this one is the apple, and it's doing pretty good. It's springtime. You can see it's got the, you know, the leaves on it and everything, so it's doing pretty good right there. And then over here we have a pear, and the pear's doing all right. It's coming back. You can see it's got sprouts on it. It's doing pretty all right. And then this guy, we're thinking this guy's dead. It's cherry. It's got some spouts coming here, little, I don't know if those are gonna grow. Maybe it takes a bit longer for cherry, but I mean, it looks dead to me. But we're gonna put water on it and see if it'll come back, because we had some other plants in town that we thought were dead too, and they actually came back, so that was pretty cool. So we'll just keep giving it water and see if it comes back. And then farther back over here, huh? Oh, yeah, the plum, yeah. So, and then this one, this is the pomegranate, and he's not looking too good. He's got some tumbleweed all caught up in it here. Sorry, that's better. Ooh, that's, yeah, I don't know if that guy's gonna make it. He don't look too good. So, but again, we'll give it some water and see how it does. And you can see here we fenced off this whole area right here. And if you look back in some of the older videos, you'll see where this is fenced off, and you'll also see this in the background behind some of the other videos. If we're at the house back here doing building, you'll see this stuff in the background.
Apple looks
and
good.
Yeah, I was saying, that's, look at that guy's coming along real good.
Pear looks good.
Yeah, pear looks good. Yeah.
Plum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call on that one, because if it's, they'll replace it.
Right. Okay, so
Guaranteed to live. So.
I'm gonna shut this down right now and help these guys. I'm not gonna let them haul all of this water while I'm yapping on the camera. So.
Sure.
All right. Well, I thought you guys were gonna wait.
Why?
Because I'm doing this thing right now. Okay. Anyways, all right. So
Leave it open.
I'm gonna shut it down and get these guys some help, and then since we lined everything out, I'm gonna take it home and put it on paper and sketch it out so that we can see what we've got, and we have all the measurements so we know what we need to order, and then we'll and then we'll plot it all out and get it all scheduled and figure out how we're gonna get it done. So all right, stick around. I'll probably have a little bit more at the house. It'll probably be tomorrow when I do that, but I'll get it all.
It'll
Yeah,
be just a second.
yeah, I'll get it all in the video, and then we'll finish it out with that. So stick around, and I'll see you in a bit. Thanks. Alright, so just to clear up some discrepancies in the video from the beginning, we were talking about doing work when we got out there, and we had intended to do some work on the earth bag house. We were talking about possibly putting up some bottle wall up on the top of the bottle wall, or maybe doing some adobe around the outside or whatever, some other things around there, but Hope was feeling kind of sick when we left out, and she had an earache and it was hurting her pretty bad, and we figured, you know, with the wind and everything up there, because it was really windy up there, and with that, and then having, you know, cold water and running concrete with cold water, in our experience when we did it before, it was pretty cold, and it was just, you know, we decided against doing anything like that because we didn't want to make, you know, her ears hurt anymore or make it any worse than it was. And that's also why we left a little bit early, because she wasn't feeling good when we went up there in the first place. And in the interest of keeping her healthy and not having anything get any worse than what it already was, we decided to leave a little bit early. So that's why we're back home now, and that's why we didn't do any actual work on the build out there. So, but we'll pick it up next week. So, yeah. So that's that. So. Alright. Alright, so we're back at the house in town right now, and I'm working on the sketch for what we're doing here. So from what we had, this is the notes that we took when we were pulling measurements out there. This is straight off of what we had, what we did exactly while we were out there. That's the notebook we used and everything. And then this is what I came up with based on the actual land, and added everything to it and ran it through scale on the computer, and from that I made this sketch right here, and this is what we're going to work with. Now I'm not going to run you guys through all the steps to get from one to the next to the next. That's like a drawing instruction video. There'd be a whole other series of videos. I'm not going to get into all of that. So what I'll do is I'll set the camera up over here and face it onto the drawing, and then I'll sketch everything out, and I'll probably end up doing that in fast forward and then overwrite it, or not overwrite, I'll probably run it in fast forward and then do a voiceover. That's what I'm thinking. Jeez. Yeah, so I'll run it in fast forward and do a voiceover so you can see what we're doing with it, and then when we're done with that, I'll close it all out. So stick around. Thanks. So this is the Hyper Adobe walls, and I'm thickening those up because that's where we're going to put those at, and adding the trees into the orchard area, and again the Adobe, adding the chicken coop, and we're coming around. That's the garden area right there, and then adding the shelter for the goat pen, and then the raised beds for the garden. This over here is going to be a pond. We're going to dig that out and use that soil to backfill the back of the house. Up over here, we're going to put in windbreaks. We're thinking we're going to use pallets and build windbreaks so that we can kind of slow the wind down before it gets to the adobe walls. And those 6 boxes, those are going to be beehives. We're going to put bees in there. And I'm showing the chicken coop, the goats in the garden, the orchard and the courtyard right there. So on the outside, we're showing oleander windbreak right there. And that's going to be the hyper adobe wind wall right there. And then the part that I'm showing right now, that's where we're going to switch from hyper adobe to regular farm fence. And we're going to have a grapevine put up on a lattice trellis going across there on the inside of the driveway, and on the outside of the driveway we're going to run standard farm fence just to enclose the whole area. As you can see, the driveway comes up, and that up there is the outdoor kitchen and the earth bag home, or the earth bag structure that we were doing. And then over here we're going to add a market garden. So you can see our plans are pretty extensive as far as the hyper adobe walls. So we're going to run those around the area where the wind's going to come in, and then the side on the other side of where the wind after that's we're going to put farm fence up in all of that area there. Kind of split the difference in the cost because the hyper adobe is a little more expensive as we need more of it. So because the farm fence, you need rolls, 100-foot rolls, and you just go 100 feet. Whereas the hyper adobe, you have to stack them, so you have 100 feet, but you got it times 15 because you got about 15 courses in order to get up to the 5-foot height that we're looking for. So anyways, that's where we're at for right now. So we're working on getting all of the materials together to do the work, and I think next week we were talking about we're going to go out and line out that outdoor kitchen. Yeah, we're gonna trench that out and start putting in bags and get that ready to go. I think we're gonna try and get some posts and place posts for it, and I'm gonna redesign the stove area thing that we were doing, the outdoor, where I had the bread pizza oven and the grill and the stove area. I'm going to redo that a little bit. I got some better dimensions for it, and I have a couple of other ideas that I want to do with it. I'm going to refine it a little bit before we actually put it in there. And I think I'm going to put it on the opposite side because we're going to put a sink in, and we're going to raise up an elevated water container so that we can just open it up and have it so it's gravity fed rather than trying to put in a solar pump and whatever else. So I have a few other ideas and some other different things that we're going to do with this. So perhaps I'll put that in a video next week, what we're actually going to be doing, and then whatever we get done out there. So John's going to come out with me next week. I think Hope needs to stay home because she has some things she has to take care of in town with one of our daughters is coming into town for the week, so we're going to have company in the house, and I believe she's taking her to the airport next weekend, so she won't be able to come out. So I think it's going to be me and John, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be working on the outdoor kitchen. So stay tuned next week, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.